Challenge number 24 is about perspective. Now there are different definitions what perspective entail, but we will only focus on point of view. In other words, drawing objects that relate to each other according to distance. So something will be in the background, something in the foreground, and you will have a sense that something is further away and something is closer. And that is what we will try to do with this challenge. Some theory behind it is if you have an object that is, let's say, a square that sits on the horizon and you want to make it a bit of a 3D shape, your square. What will help you is if you draw lines from the horizon point of view, like this and like this, and then you can draw your square actually more accurately. So in other words, like this, I will add a little bit of the lines. There we go. So there you have a square that is not just a flat square, but a more three-dimensional square where the lines, if you took them through, would disappear on the horizon like this. And this is a technique that you can use to help create distance perspective. Also, if you want the same shape but from a different angle, again you can have your real or imaginary horizon line and your square like this, and then you can have the lines that go up like this to create the shape it needs to be, and like this. There's your square, and then you can have the bottom that's visible. And this is how you create perspective. Then if you take away the lines, the guidelines, you can have a shape that you can see from different perspectives, and you can see part of it is further away and other parts are closer to you. Some other basic techniques would be to draw things as they go further away, they become smaller. Like it's obviously good to have some reference point, like a horizon or something, and you want to draw a tree, right? As it's closer to you, the tree is bigger. And then if you draw one further away, it needs to be a little bit smaller, right? And it gets smaller as they go away, and tighter as well towards one another. So that creates distance as well. It helps to have some kind of line that you work with, maybe to draw this before, to work on a line to create this perspective. Maybe a line like this. If you want to create a path, as it disappears in the distance, it needs to, the two lines become closer to one another as well. Let me just, then here, this creates an effect of further away and being closer. In this painting you can see how the road becomes smaller and the buildings as well become smaller. You can see the slight lines the artist used for guidelines, the lines that he drew like this, because this is the vanishing point where you can't see anything anymore. And then he worked according to this reference to make the buildings go smaller in the right proportion. And this is something you can use to create the perspective of distance. Here you can see how the artist made the lanterns become smaller and almost disappear. You can only see the light in the back, and this obviously helped create perspective, distance, how this person is bigger than this person, the direction of the road and the trees as well. Everything goes towards the same vanishing point. Even in this very famous painting of Van Gogh, you can see how the bed frame is bigger on this side than on that side to create distance perspective. how this chair is smaller than this chair to create. You can see how everything kind of moves out a certain direction like this. And things here are smaller than things on the outside here. You can see it with the floor plan as well. And that is your challenge, to create something where there's some sense of distance, so something further away and something closer, where the things closer are bigger than the things further away, and where you can use guidelines to keep the ratio of the perspective.